that's going to happen a lot more times. But what
Right.
it will be more interesting is what happened on the upswing. How was the practice? How did it feel? And then how did the downswing practice feel? Were there any extenuating circumstances? Was it a little bit of luck? Do you feel like you're playing well in your good games and playing badly in your bad games? Or was it like, just talk me through it.
There were some games where I felt like I was playing pretty well, but majority felt like I was playing not effective, or meaning in the sense that I don't feel like I had a lot of uptime like I was mentioning before. And
Mm-hmm.
every time I took a rotation or I felt like I was on an angle, and maybe that could also be with timing, maybe they were just not timed, but maybe I was just focusing on like that key area of just rotating, just rotate to one angle, rotate to another.
Yeah.
And then one game I'd be like, just focus on your cooldowns, and then just focus only on that. And sometimes I felt like it would just regress my overall play, which is expected. I know that when you're
Yep.
hyper fixated on one thing, it's gonna deviate in other areas where you're not gonna be as focused. So
Yep.
that's natural. But like in my placements, I was 6-4 and one game away, and I was fine. I felt pretty confident. And I lost a couple, and I had one person that threw, and then I was like, okay, whatever, it happens. Then I tried like playing again, and I was like, okay, this isn't working, so I took a break. Then I went into it later, like in the evening. Still wasn't doing great, and it just felt like it was maybe just spiraling. Like then trying to fix something. Well, maybe I don't practice this. Let's try practicing this. And then like maybe then I don't really
Yeah.
practice it. Maybe I'm doing something where it's just hurting my progress, and then
Yeah.
I kind of spiraled a little bit.
Yeah. Well, I mean, all right. So this is it. Okay. So one of the things I will challenge you to embrace, and I think the sooner that you can kind of not fully embrace that, but kind of come to terms with it, the better, is you cannot focus on what should be the thing to win this game, or even what should be the thing for me to play better today. Do not pursue that ever.
Okay.
The reason why is twofold. First off, it's like, oh, it's not improvement mindset build. You should just focus on what you feel like you should practice for the day or for that game, and then don't really worry about it, and just really focus on the execution of that skill and only the execution of that skill. Right? That's true. This is positioning day. I don't know if that's the optimal thing. I don't know if that's but I'm just going to do it. I'm just going to really, really, really apply myself to it. Good job. Make sense?
Mm-hmm.
Here's the other thing. Most people are really bad at identifying what actually is the issue.
Right.
So if you try to be like, oh, well, it's not the most, you probably are making the wrong read. Not always,
Right.
but you probably are. And so what
Right.
you're doing is you're taking your attention away from something more important, you're putting yourself into a position where you're trying to identify a problem, and you're just not qualified to identify that problem.
Right.
So if we looked at one of those codes today, I mean, maybe that's what we'll look at. It's like one of those codes. I would actually be interested to see if you can actually predict what the problem was and see if you're actually correct.
Okay.
It's not that you're stupid. It's just that it's
Right.
really, really, really hard to be objective when you're in the heat of battle. And it's hard to be
Right.
objective about your own performance, like what is actually going wrong, if that makes sense.
Right. Right.
I've done that a lot myself. Like I will look at my own games sometimes on stream when I'm like playing Wuyong or Brig or Juno or Freya, and I'm like even like somebody this is literally my job, right? Like I still struggle to in a moment identify the issues, and oftentimes I'll go back and watch my own gameplay. I'm like, dude, what, dude? Like, oh my, like why am I? I'm catching myself with all these things that like feel so obvious, but in the moment I wasn't fixating on,
Right.
and.
Right.
I guess my point being is that like you're gonna be streaky. That's just kind of the nature of it. But there needs to be like a sense of acceptance that you're gonna go up and down. And
Right.
if you're able to kind of accept that, then ironically that can kind of help the ups and downs to be a little bit less sharp.
I think there is acceptance. It's just more like I think me trying to fix it is not like really.
Well, that's
like
not
you said, is
acceptance. You get what I'm saying?
correct. Well, right. So what I was leading to is that's not the correct way to approach it.
Correct.
Whereas
Yeah.
like more so in the acceptance that if I drop, well, I'll get back up eventually. I always do. Generally, is what I feel, and it
Yeah.
usually
Yeah.
does map out.
Correct.
But it's more like I think the frustrations come in is that like why am I still yo-yoing back and forth? Where I feel like if I put the time in and the effort and deliberate effort into it, I'm hoping to make a little bit more progress. I'm not saying I'd shoot up to like the top 10 players. I'm the best player in the world, but I'm saying at least have some consistency where that little median goes up a little nudge.
Yeah, I understand. I mean, you were one game away from GM, for crying out loud. Like that's huge. Like progress is really, really, really slow at your level, especially because of how high you are. And like it sounds like you made like a pretty big jump already, which is awesome. But like the acceptance is just knowing that that's going to be up and down. Like the reality is that like you could definitely improve your consistency, But oftentimes the irony is that consistency is not really married to your performance. Like some of the most inconsistent people I've ever met were high rank players.
Mm-hmm.
It just means that you've moved the slider up. You know, like your worst days are still going to be better than 99% of players. But like a lot of players, people that are really consistent are oftentimes people that are like much more comfortable with where they are skill wise, and so they don't sweat or crash out too much. You know.
Right.
I'm oftentimes more inconsistent on heroes that I have higher expectations on, ironically. Like, I'm really inconsistent on my Ana because at times she can be my best character. And so when I have a day when I feel like she's not, I get irritated at myself, and that just drives the spike further, you know?
That's pretty much what happened, because majority of those losses, I would say probably 1 in 9 was when I was playing Ana.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, she's a very
And I was
inconsistent
deliberately doing
character. She's a very inconsistent
Right.
character, not just psychologically, just because you're talking about like two long duration cooldowns, and that require decent mechanics. And it's like, you know, some days you're just not going to be it. And if you have like your sense of identity is that I'm a great Ana player, then you're going to get freaking tilted at yourself. You know, like I
Right.
said, that's
And that's
literally
probably what
me.
it was.
Yeah. So
Right. That's
I guess
probably what it was.
so in those situations, I think it's just important to focus on like whatever you want to practice for that day, focus on executing as best as you possibly can on that. And oftentimes it's even better to just be like, well, if I'm just going to have an off mechanical day, I'm just going to control what I can control is my pre-fight decision making as much as I possibly can. Even if it's not accurate, I'm going to at least give it a good go and see what happens, you know?
Right.
You just gotta let the result go. You know, there's nothing sinful about screwing up your position with Ana. You just gotta try. That's it.
Right. From like a VOD perspective, it would be nice to have another perspective from another hero. But the fact that I went such on a very spiral with this, with my favorite hero, I feel like the most beneficial way is probably to see a replay where I was probably crashing hard, and
Yeah,
at
we
least to
can.
see.
We can go quickly too. We don't have to like we went in depth on Blizzard World, so like you already have like a pretty good foundation of what you should be doing, right? And that means we can kind of expedite this process, and that's going to be what these repeat sessions are like. We're going to have a lot more flexibility of what we can look at, just because we've already worked together.
So the other thing too is that this map in particular, I always feel like if I get pressed on any particular parts where I generally position, I know it's no one position is set in stone. But wherever I feel like I do position, it feels like I'm getting pressed, and I have to save my cooldowns. And if I don't, then I just instantly will die, either from tracers or anybody else. And maybe that's something I can make adjustments to. I just want to see.
I mean, if you're playing into like Diva, I could see it being a problem. Yeah. Because
Yeah.
if you're like rotating away from Widow here, you're going to be rotating more often closer towards Diva, which does mean that you need your CDs to live. So yeah, I mean, you could be right. Yeah.
Well, also, this is another thing. I'm not fixated on scoreboard really much, but at the same time where I feel like I saw this other Ana, I was like, okay, maybe that's a reflection of what I should be. This is like Masters 2 to GM 3.
Yeah.
But this Ana was constantly putting in work. And I felt like, why does it feel so easy for this Ana? But for
Tank
me,
diff,
it feels...
really. Tank diff could
like,
be.
because it feels... Yeah, but it just felt like it was pulling teeth. I felt like I couldn't do anything.
Yeah. Yeah, could be. I mean, it's also rank reset, so like these games could be really volatile. I mean, this might be a literal GM3 Ana, you know? I don't...
Right.
Yeah, I know that they say that they match role versus role, but they're not always super consistent with that either. So it's like you might be a full 3 or 4 tiers below your counterpart. So, yeah.
Yeah. This Diva was like a champion player too, I believe.
Yeah,
like champion,
yeah,
yes. So this was a rough.
Single's fine. That's fine. I mean, you have enough distance between her. You can chunk a decent part of her HP. You hold your nades.
This is scary if I go closer, right?
Well, it's contextual, right? So, like, you've put her to sleep. You took some of her HP down. She's just used her boosters now. So, like, why not?
Right. Okay.
You know, there's nothing that's going to get in your face right now. Like, you have all the scouting that you need right now. You're up 1.
Right.
Yeah, sure. If anything, I probably wouldn't have even naded her. I would have instead looked backline here, just because you have like she's 1 and there's somebody right here. Might as well just go for the Ana instead.
Right.
But yeah, there's nothing wrong with that. And then you drop because I think Ana surprised you, and then just go back and retake it.
Right.
But yeah, it's always contextual, you know. There's no.
I will say I do miss a lot of cooldowns this game.
Well, I mean that's it, right? Like that's it. Like this was this sleep stupid? Well, no, because Diva just used boosters. She's really close, and if you sleep her, there's a pretty decent chance that you can back nade this and probably kill her, or at least force Suzu. I mean, it wasn't stupid. You just freaking beefed it, right? That's all there is to it. And so that means that you probably got it back now. Because now that D.Va's
Right.
gonna... And then D.Va goes away from you, so then you fill the gap again. Yeah, this is fine. It's good. Yeah, good job. No problem. I mean, you beat the sleep, but I feel like you're really paying attention to this D.Va, like how she's moving, and that's really good.
Okay.
And the reason why it's really good is because she's been like basically point blank on you this entire fight, and so she's been your problem, right? If she'd been way over here, you wouldn't really care. But she's kind of been right in your face and just kind of ignoring you, so you punished her. Or her backline. Sure?
Once we lose this first fight here, I think this is where things start to like really unfold.
Yeah. Nate is just kind of... I think that might have missed the Sojourn even if she'd stayed. I mean, okay, it would have hit the payload and got her, but that's lucky. Like, that was just pretty brainless.
Right.
Sleep wasn't brainless, though. That was good.
Yeah.
I don't think I would rotate away. Let me explain why. So I know why you rotated away.
Because we're down?
Well, yes and no. I felt like also Widow. Because, I mean, if you're down one, right, it's like, look at where they are, you know, like they're over here.
Right.
You know, like, so you're fine. My problem is, like, this is going to be a spicy take. I don't think that you can give Widow this much respect. Okay. And let me explain why. If you back off here, they are going to take all the space, and you're going to have a really miserable time retaking this. I would say backing off here is a worst case scenario of, like, we're just going to go ahead and reset and try to retake entirely. When you back off from here, you have said we're going to lose this fight, so let's just play for a retake. Does that make sense?
That makes sense.
I would go as far to say that I would try to take a couple pot shots first and then rotate away here. Now, I know your Sojourn's dead as well, I believe, so I don't think this is terrible, but yeah, okay, so like, okay, good. So I was going to say, if you're going to back off here, you should literally back all the way off, and you do.
Yeah.
But yeah, I see this mistake all the time where like Honest will like back off, but they don't really back off, and then they end up getting staggered. Or they'll back off unnecessarily. Like, you either need to sleep and ego this Widow and die in a blaze of fury and maybe clutch it out, or full back out. And you full backed out, so that was good. And now we can retake. Yeah. Good job. Just hold your CDs, see what happens.
Yeah, this I get rolled.
Yeah, you just got rolled. You got freaking rolled. But you also had immense potential for clutch potential here, because if you live here, if you hit this nade and live, you're getting 1, 2, 3 people's attention right now. Widow's looking at you too. Which means your Widow's totally free, your Wu Yong's totally free, and your Cassie's not even here yet. So you just took a lot of responsibility and you filled it. That's all. The rotation was good. You just had a lot of responsibility and you beefed it.
Okay.
Yeah. It's like a freaking 2v1, 3v1 there, you know? So next time, don't beef it. Wasn't a bad play. Yeah. Good job. I like this angle from you. Yeah, it's a good try. Yeah, it's good. This is good.
Okay. It just feels uncomfortable. Like, even though if it's the right play, you're making it seem like it's the right play, it just feels incredibly uncomfortable.
Well, yeah, because that's Overwatch.
I understand. Like, yeah, but like some games just feel like I feel like I could be doing the right things, and this is where maybe I question is like, is this what I'm doing correct? And maybe I deviate from that and then try something to the extreme, and then it just goes way downhill at that point.
It's because you're playing support on an off angle into a Widowmaker D.Va. Like, this is like, if you wanted to play support otherwise, you'd play Marvel Rivals, right? Like, when you say uncomfortable, you're saying it like I'm making a mistake, and the reality that you're just taking a lot of risk because there is no alternative.
Right. Okay.
There is no alternative. It's like, it means you have, when we look at the last fight here, so remember when you died at Sojourn in Ana here, right?
Right.
That was incredibly uncomfortable for the Ana Sojourn.
Right.
I want you to turn the tables here, right? Infra sites, and there's an Ana up here with double CD. That could just as easily, the script could have flipped there, and you kill both of them, right?
Right. Maybe the mindset has to shift where maybe like just understanding risk isn't like, or the way I'm looking at it is like feeling uncomfortable at risk. Maybe it doesn't automatically seem that it's the wrong play. Exactly.
Because you took that wasn't a stupid play because you had cover, you had infra sites, you had both CDs, and like, sure, go for it. Just don't freaking die to rail and, whatever. It's fine. It was what your alternative was to take no risk whatsoever and let your hazard take the punishment for it, right? So it's like somebody has to feel uncomfortable in this game. Somebody's got to do it. And if you don't do anything, it's going to be your tank. It's going to be your DPS. So you just took responsibility and you failed the responsibility. But that doesn't mean that you should stop taking responsibilities. You just get better at taking it, right? That's all.
Yeah. Okay.
So I think the key thing there is like that was a good idea. It was a good angle. You had your cooldowns. You had all the tools that you needed to make that play work, and you just fumbled it. What is your Widow doing?
I was thinking about nanoing her, but I felt like it was going to be a waste.
I agree. The problem with Widows is just she has so poor neutral pressure that they just would have walked away, you know? Which is not always bad. Like that, if you had nanoed her, I would not have been angry. It just, I don't know. Yeah, it would have been fine.
Yeah.
You need to take some space.
I was kind of looking. Yeah, so I heard Diva nanoed, so I was just kind of looking at where she was.
Yeah, well, yeah, just listen. You know, you did a lot of that first point, so then now you can just do whatever you want. You're just slow with it. This if you had taken space earlier here, we get a nano on cast, we get a nano on your hazard, we let your Wu Young die, but we trade backlines. You're just slow. You had the right idea, but you were too scared of Nano Diva, even though you had scouting information on her. Sure, yeah. You're down 2, but then the Widow gets picked, and you're like, wait, we still have space, right? So my cast is in a great spot to get follow-up. Yeah, it's good. Nice, beautiful.
So I've kind of just been leaving sleeps for her.
Yeah, I mean, that's fine, because she keeps showing up right next to you.
Right. So I can actually do something. That's why I felt
the one time that you didn't use sleep on her is when she was a million miles away and you got the Sojourn. Remember that? That was good.
Right. Right.
This is just this. You should have moved. You should have rotated sooner because you're probably gonna get traded for this, or you should.
Moved where?
Anywhere.
So that's what I'm saying. So like anywhere. Like what do you mean? Like even going down the stairs to the right and backing off is what you're saying?
Yeah, anywhere. Just move. Or you either backing off means that you live, or running forward to here means that you're gonna die, but at least you're gonna get a better angle for your offensive value.
Okay.
You know. So you look at this and you'd be like, I'm going to die. Okay. Die in a blaze of glory.
Okay.
Or don't and run away and live, maybe.
Okay. Well, if I run away, I was going to say, my hazard's pretty much dead. Are you thinking because my hazard's pretty much screwed no matter what, for the most part?
Well, my point being is like, you could run away, play your life, let your hazard die. Or you can run and maybe keep your hazard alive and you die. But the point being is that you didn't commit to any decision here. You committed to a nade here, which was fine. But then your nade gets body blocked because you didn't actually rotate first. If you rotate away from Diva, she's still going to chase you down, but at least you make her chase you down.
Right.
Like, the point being is if you're going to sleep Frankenstein's monster, at least make him run after you for a few extra moments, you know, so you get a couple extra bullets in his skull. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like, even just creating some distance so you can get a couple of extra shots in, it would have been fine here. You know, that's all. But yeah, what you're doing here is fine. Nano's good. Sleep was good. Nade was good. Just a little bit unlucky. And yeah. I mean, for crying out loud, she's going to have to bomb this. She doesn't even bomb it. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so hey, like you took responsibility, you died, and you guys actually might even win this fight now. You see it? My nitpick was just you probably could have lived a little longer there. And that's all.
Right.
Okay, let's see here. Yeah, I mean, I don't think it was a bad sleep. You know, what else are you going to sleep right now? You're not under any risk from her. If you hit that sleep, she's cooked because the high noon goes off, right? Yeah, it's good. Nade was also understandable because there is a window here where she can drop in missiles and murder him. And I think you were trying to hit that window.
Right.
Yeah.
It was more just to put pressure on her while he's doing that.
Yeah, it's fine. She just outplayed you and the Cassidy, that's all. But you took responsibility and you almost clutched. Like, if either one of those cooldowns hit, you win. And I don't think they were bad ideas. They were kind of gambles, but they were smart gambles. Good job. Good try next time. Okay. Yeah, I mean, you guys are going into Kitsune, Sojourn ult, Diva bomb. Like, you're not likely to win this fight, so you need a bit of a smart gamble. And also, if you not died the previous fight, at least not as easily, then maybe you could have been here. But yeah, this was fine. Like, I'm not looking at any of this and being like, this is really stupid. It's not. You're taking responsibility.
That's what it felt like.
Right. Because you can't look at the result. You have to be like, okay, the intention was there. I put some thought and effort into it. It just didn't work. That's how it goes. It's not that it's luck based necessarily. Like, a lot of this could be execution. You know, like, do it better, hit the cooldowns. You know, rotate a little bit further away from Diva so that you give yourself an extra second or two of life. Like, for example, here I don't love this sleep dart, not because it's a bad idea necessarily, but because I kind of need you to take space right now. And I don't know that you can take space right now without that sleep dart.
Okay, from the diva, you're saying with the hazard.
Correct. You need to walk at that
Okay.
diva with your hazard because this angle sucks. Now you could say, well, why do
Right.
I have to go here? What if I win here? Yeah, sure.
Okay.
Then go there. Then maybe you can sleep dart this. But I guess for the angle that you wanted, you needed that sleep dart.
Right.
Sure. No, it's fine. Just commit. Especially now that you have your sleep. It's a little far. It's a little far. He's not really in a position to do a lot with it, so I would, again, just kind of take the position, and then maybe we go from there, but it's alright.
Yeah. Well, it wasn't for Nanoblade. I thought he was just going to die.
Yeah, yeah. And honestly, hey, we win the fight, right?
Yeah.
You demech the diva, you force bomb, we kill the bomb.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, okay, let's go. And again, was dying there the end of the world? No. It's fine. We're back. Where's your angle here? Your choice. Top right?
Up top.
Inside left here? I would probably prefer inside left.
That's
Just go
well,
ahead.
I was going to say, because Diva's right there, isn't that a little spooky being right there?
Like in here?
Well, like all the way. Are you saying at this door where right here, or you're talking about all the way over there where the hazard is?
It depends.
Here.
It depends. Yeah, I mean, it depends. Yeah, it depends. You need your sleep and aid, yeah. But yeah, this is fine. I mean, that's basically what you're doing anyway. You've just done it on the floor. That's it. Right?
Yeah.
All right, so,
Right.
you know. Yeah, good. Now, you're going to die, okay? So here's what we're going to do. We're going to die and make it pretty. So where should you go right now? Same rule as the last time you slept Diva, right?
Yeah.
Run. Anywhere. You know, anywhere.
Yeah,
I would probably just book it here and see what happens. You know, it turns out there's nobody there, but that would have been my first instinct. But yeah, this is just...
I think I just back up.
Yeah,
I just back up.
Yeah, I mean, it's okay. It's better than standing there.
But,
Sure.
But you're just saying, like, hey, like, the fact is, like, if this diva was smarter, she could have just punished me and really just smoked me. So, and you should expect that. That's what you're saying.
Correct.
So
I would say it's more consistent. Like, if you feel like you're going to die, to just die and get something of a trade. And the reason why, especially then emphasizing that, is because you've kind of already established that you have that tendency to feel like, oh no, I've died, I've screwed up, right? Like, well, yeah, I mean, you like, shut down a nano. Yeah, you literally took a diva out of a fight with an ultimate, and then you had a potential there of also getting like a trade in Kiriko or following up with your backline, and then slowly dying. If even then, because at that point maybe your Wuhan can keep you up, right? So it's like it's like you took responsibility, and then like let's keep that responsibility going, you know?
Right.
Yeah, this is fine. Good sight line here.
I think I just stay here.
I see the vision for the nade there.
This is the bane of my existence. Our tracers. I don't know what it is. I like embrace the duels, but I cannot stand tracers.
Sure.
Because in the fact that like is the rule of thumb generally, like, if I know she's gonna come here, like you're saying with the information I have, you're like hold your cooldowns. If you don't have them, you're pretty much cooked.
Well, where is she right now? You don't know.
Right side. Like, yeah. Well, like now I do. Like right
now
there.
I do.
Yeah.
So yeah, your job is to not die. Yeah.
Right. Okay.
Because this is why it's not because your life is more valuable than Tracer. No, not at all. Your life is just as valuable as Tracer. The difference is what is Tracer doing right now? You know what I'm saying?
Oh, well, like meaning like she's trying to take the angle where I'm on.
Right, but do you see how like her actual threat is pretty low?
Well, now that's what you're saying.
Correct. Now, whereas what's your
because
value?
of recall, where I still have sleep, and I also just dinked her, so she's out of the fight.
You just have a gun. You have a gun. She doesn't. Essentially, like I'm not saying that Tracer without recall is useless. I'm saying that if you clear her out, her value plummets, and yours stays more consistent than hers.
Okay.
So you clear her, you pop her in the head. She's like, oh my gosh, right? And then now, you fumbled the sleep on the diva, which sucks. But like you can actually do things here now. The problem with this is that your team just fumbled positionally. And to be honest with you, I don't think you did enough early in the fight here. So like, if I look at this here, I probably could have taken. I mean, I guess the Widow's there, but there's no Widow anymore. Right. She's on Tracer, right? So you could have probably rotated to a better lane to do more damage. That's all.
Right. Like when you're saying my team fumbles too, there's times like where I know like maybe that is the case, but I still try to always not make that the excuse. I try to take accountability even when...
That is correct.
That is not the point. Like it's
Yep.
like, okay, what could I have done better? Like and sometimes it's hard to do that when you're losing.
It
But it's
is.
also like, okay, but
Well,
that is the way I'm gonna get better. There's no other
that's
way
true.
around it.
That's true. That's true. That's true. So the way to accountability here is don't do this.
Right.
So that because what happens if you hit the sleep dart?
Then I have a window where I can just get out.
Yeah, well, right, exactly. You can get out, or maybe hit a pot shot on your Genji, or on. I mean, look at this. I mean, don't tell me that you couldn't trade this backline with your team.
Right, with the
If that diva was asleep, right? With anything, just one or two shots there, and you guys get that backline, and instead your Genji dies, and Ana lives. I think. I mean, look at that, right? Like that's your opportunity right there. So we don't even have to try and be like toxic positivity, like, oh yeah, there's always something I can do better. There was something, absolutely, right? So I agree with you. That's a good mindset to have, you know. Yeah, walk.
Yeah. Well,
I mean, this is fine here. I mean, because he was close, but yeah, whatever you do, just commit to it. Yeah, good job. Good CDs. You see, it works, right? Like, you didn't keep your hazard up, but you kept your Wuyong up, who kept your hazard up, which then allowed you to keep your hazard up. So, would it have been better to go for backline trade? Either one would have worked. Wuyong dies, but they definitely die as a result, so which one's more valuable? I don't know. Either one works. Your choice. You committed to the Wuyong, and it worked.
Okay, so I have a question. So I know you mentioned this about like it's results driven, essentially, like where inconsistency in practicing. In these lobbies, these are also players I'm assuming that have also way more free time on their hands than I do. Is that also just like, what's the way I can word this actually? Is the expectation of just like matches being a little bit more skewed in other directions, like more consistent, if that makes sense, in higher ranks, versus like if I was to play in like lower masters and below, like generally you can carry fights on yourself, or it feels like, you know, if you know what you're doing, like you can kind of get like big win streak. I don't know if that's the way to word it. I'm trying to word something more in the sense that like where these sometimes I get matches that are like mid to high masters, then I'll get like masters to GM2, then like champion 5, and like all these wide ranges generally.
Yeah, the
and
reason
I'm saying like
no,
go ahead. No, that was pretty much it.
Yeah, the reason that you're dealing with the wider ranges is just because of the fewer quantity of players.
Okay.
So you're more likely to have, I wouldn't say more volatile matches. I actually think in many ways higher level matches are much more consistent because people in lower ranks, you don't know how to play Junkrat and Watchpoint Gibraltar, but you still think that he's good, and you're going to play him on Watchpoint Gibraltar, and you're going to do 500 damage in 10 minutes. You know what I'm saying? There's going to be that. Whereas in higher levels, you get a Junkrat OTP, they at least know what to do in the worst case scenario. They're going to try, you know? But you're going to have pretty large variance in player skill just because there aren't that many players that are that good at the game. Like, even you, I mean, you're in the basically top 2%. You know what I'm saying? Like, there aren't a lot of Overwatch players that are as good as you. Like, you could pull a group of 100 Overwatch players, and you're better than 97, 98 of them. You know? So when you go into a lobby, and you have players that are in the top 1%, and then this freaking, if this diva was actually champion, you know, like top 0.2%, whatever, well, that's a big jump, right? That's a pretty big jump, right? So, like, you're just going to have some games where you're going to feel a little bit bad.
Right. Well, I mean, and that's what I'm saying. Is the thing just to embrace it? Just embrace that I'm just going to suck. Like, it is what it is.
I wouldn't say that you're going to suck, but that you're going to get your mistakes punished frequently. But the good news is that when your mistakes get punished frequently, it doesn't necessarily mean that you should change what you're doing. You shouldn't take less risks, because it means that you're not expected to perform at a high level in those lobbies. Because there's somebody on the enemy team that's, the enemy team will have somebody like you too. They'll have a fraud as well. It's okay.
Okay. Fraud.
Yeah. Yeah. And the difference is that if you can actually do things and then die, like, if you don't do anything, like, let's look at this game here, right? Like, overall, I think there have been moments where you've been a little bit hesitant, but for the most part, you have taken responsibility, right? And your team's deaths and your team's clutches have kind of come and gone from your willingness to take responsibility.
Okay.
Let's say that you went into those situations and you avoided it or shirked it or backed off or disengaged or didn't use your CDs. You would have missed the opportunity to learn and improve. If you're playing versus a champion Widow and you're getting head blown off every single time you make a mistake, you can't chastise yourself for taking initiative. You could just chastise yourself for, I could have strafed better, I could use cover better, oh, I lost her angle, I didn't know where she was. Because the best thing you can do is get punished for your mistakes. That's the best thing that can happen.
Right.
You just can't bully yourself for making those mistakes. That's the problem. That's just part of the process. Like I remember being in like the equivalent of like 4.6 games when I was like a 4.2 player, which is like the equivalent of like champion 1 versus GM 3, right? And it was very stressful, but I was like, you know what? I don't need to pop off. I just need to do as best that I can and learn from that. And my teammates aren't going to win or lose the game based off of my performance any more so than any team is going to win or lose off of their little fraud, you know? It's just how it goes.
Right. Right.
So
okay.
I think you're doing fine. Like I really like. I've been actually a lot more critical of like the way that you're playing, in terms of like the micro of things, like the sleeps and the nades and the movement, and not so like your responsibility. Like I think your positioning has looked pretty solid so far. Like we're actually taking initiative here.
Right.
You know,
because it makes it feel like then like if I go 1 and 9 and I'm like, man, there's got to be something I'm doing wrong. Like.
I mean, this is huge, right? Like. You know, you took initiative, you got close, you got a trade, and you actually live. And yeah, if you go 1 and 9, yeah, the answer is that you're probably doing something wrong. But also, I'm gonna there's one of my YouTube shorts from like 3 years ago. I'll have to dig it up at some point and send it to you. I flipped a coin 12 times, 13 times, and I went like 2 and 11,
which is like my streak right now.
Right,
2 and 12.
You get what I'm saying? So I'm not saying that you're not playing worse. You probably are getting frustrated at yourself and playing worse as a result. But you could even be playing like consistently at the same level and still going like 0 and 8 streaks. Happens all the time.
Right.
Like probability is way more streaky than you think.
Right. Now this does go to OT. I'm trying to think of the time we have. What's beneficial to actually view the OT?
I think we should move on. I think we should move on. Yeah, I do think we should move on. I think we established like you're trying to take space, you're trying to take responsibility. This is a very high responsibility composition for you because you have both threats that can get in your face and murder you and threats that can snipe you from a long range. And that's a very difficult situation to play Ana, but it's not a bad situation to play Ana. It just means that you're going to live or die by your ability to perform, which is a great training environment. You could pick like Brig here and you wouldn't get punished for your mistakes near as much, but you would have less of the match responsibility on your shoulders.
Right.
Which is not necessarily a good thing. So, I mean, it's, you know, it's a slept diva is a slept diva, whether she's champion 1 or bronze 5. You get what I'm saying? And that's valued no matter what you do, no matter what rank you are. So yeah, we can look at whatever you want here.
Okay. It was the same code, I believe. I think it was the same code though in the OT. Or you're saying move to a different code?
Yeah, I think we should move on.
Okay, so the Ana is fine. So do you want to do? Let me see. Should I do? The Zen was a win. I felt like it was kind of steamrolly a little bit on Circuit Rail. Not like really, but like there are pointers we can look at.
Well, we haven't looked at any of your Zen micro, right? So like, we could look at it. Yeah,
there is value in it, even though they're like this. I felt like was not too terrible of a game.
So TLDR with Ana. Small sample size of progress, right? And that's going to be our sessions, right? Once a week of practice, right? Not a lot of progress available, but I can tell you everything about your movement, your rotations, your angles, the way that you're managing your CDs depending on where your threats are and like where enemies are, looks really good. Very willing to use CDs when you're not under pressure. When you are under pressure, you're kind of saving it to defend your angle. It's exactly what we talked about in Blizzard World. You did a phenomenal job. I could tell you were more focused on lateral space. That was like the key term that we talked about. It was good. Looks good. Just do a better job of hitting the shots, hitting the CDs, and walk away from sleeping divas. I don't think you need to change anything. You just need more reps.
So you think I actually have done better since the last time?
Yeah. I mean, you're not going to
feel like it.
Correct. At what we were supposed to be practicing, yes. I mean, it's a tiny sample size, half of a round in a week of practice. So you're going to need to be, I'm going to say, you've not made progress skill-wise. It's probably not possible, but you're moving in the right direction. Keep up the good work.
Okay, great.
Yep.
The first death here. Well, you know, it's like I'll be like, move on next. I'll see.
I want to see this.
Coming
I want to see this. I want to see this.
Right here.
One of the swings of all time. I'm gonna wide swing that. That's a good call. Yeah. Okay. I would probably say here I would perma orb one of my DPS right now Just because of the fact that they're actually taking space and what is it, 35 HPS, something like that, right?
Yeah, it's better for smaller.
So it's just better for smaller health pools. And like you look at this Winston here, no matter how much you heal your Winston, he's going to be in trouble. So the best thing you could do is just get your DPS like balls up and like allow them to keep people away from looking at your Winston. Essentially, that's going to be the best way that you can support your Winston, is just to get them off. Now, when you get double Harmony Orb, I think it's really good to throw it in your tank, because that way you don't have to shuffle them around all the time. You can just keep one in tank, one in DPS. But that's more about your damage than it is about your healing. But yeah, like right now, it's like I would just be swinging as wide of an angle as I possibly can. Exactly.
Single sucks.
Exactly. It's a little spooky versus Widow, but like the reality is the Zen is that, like, again, like Ana, don't be scared of risks. Be scared of risks.
I was more scared of D.Va. I was more scared of D.Va.
Yeah, no, you should have been. I'm saying, like, if they were a Widow, like, you should be thinking,
there were a Widow.
Hanzo or Ana or Zen, yeah, there's a chance they could blow your head off, but there's a chance of, you know, the Earth exploding, you know? So it's like, what are you going to do about it? You need to do something. You're not doing anything. If you are in that compressed left lane, you know, open up your angle, burn the enemy team. It's the best thing you can do.
This feels better.
This is impossible for their tank. It's miserable. You know, like it's so you're the best support in the game at range, by far the best. If you don't have to move, Zen is by far the most, because even though your healing output is, it's just your damage output is just too good. I actually think you're the single highest source of damage in the entire game, barring none. DPS, there's probably heroes that put out raw DPS more, but in an effective pressure, like Discord plus consistency of your output, it's just oppressive. So like I look at this here, and I'm like, this is a pretty cute angle if you had like trance or you were sneaking up on somebody, but you're compromising your pressure output here. Like, where's your safer lane to start here?
By Winston.
Right, by Winston. Just pop yourself here, and then as you rotate back, you can even put yourself here.
Right.
On Circuit, there's going to be a lot less creative angling, at least without trance, just because it's good use of the perk.
Yeah, I thought about it, so then I moved
that's cool. Yeah. But yeah, like this is a great example. It's a Nano Diva. What is she going to do with this? Like, she's going to do nothing with this, right? She's going nowhere.
Right.
She's going to actually get demacked.
So my Genji goes in, so I just go with him.
So I'm going to be honest. This shouldn't have worked necessarily because of the distance that you had to traverse for the trance. You see the distance here? Yeah. You needed. I like trance on like a solo flank and then just pop trance as a get out of jail free card. But I will compliment you for this. The best mistake that you could possibly make with a support ultimate is to use it early. You're using it here and you're like, I don't even know, whatever. But you know what? If this guy freaking lives and you're able to, then you're going to cap this.
Yeah, which we do.
Which you do, right? So I look at that and I'm like, you weren't really set up for that push, which is my biggest problem. But man, you used it.
Yeah, well, so if I was more left a little more up where he was, then you're saying it would have been better.
Exactly. If you're here, pop
by
here,
that little, what is it? Right here.
Yeah, blow your orbs here. Right, exactly. This is just a really uncomfortable map. It's just very compressed, right? It's better with trance to set up on a deeper angle or a solo flank even. And then just ego anybody that comes after you and then just trance away because it's really fast. But, I mean, you're just pushing with trance. So it's like, I don't care. Like, for example, if you had trance here, I would be here. I'd be egoing this Genji with my Genji and then kill him. Or I'd flank all the way here, pop here, bait the attention, trance out. Or I'd flank literally all the way around behind with silent footsteps. Pop, come after me, then trance away, right? But yeah, like, that was fine. Like, you just push a trance. I really don't care. It's good.
Okay.
Good. This rotation from you is good. This rotation from you is also good. Get the orb on Genji. You could tell you try to use the perk there. I just rotate back as quickly as you can.
Yeah, I was thinking about it, then I saw it. I was like, oh shoot. So
it's spooky. Yeah, I get it. Yeah, this is fine. Yeah, no complaints here. Only thing here is just more of just along the micro of it. So just like being a little bit tighter here, or even on the door frame, to where it's like if you're gonna die, you're gonna make it really expensive. Just better cover. That's all.
Right.
That's a pretty expensive commitment for them, and you should be able to get more punish off of that if you're just a little bit tighter to cover. It's the same thing with Ana without CDs, right? You just have to treat it with respect. Like right here is much better, right? It's not perfect, but you push up, Genji's far away, he can't just dash on you. So even though Echo hits a couple of shots, they get stickies on you, you shoot your own deflect. I mean, it sucks, right? But that was expensive. That was dash, that was stickies, that was deflect, and now that Genji's going to have to leave because you're going to discord him out, and he's not going to be able to hold space. And that was without a tank, right?
Yeah.
This is fine. I would focus on clearing that angle with your Genji. Yeah. Just because this is this is the position that you want to be, right? So yeah, it's just an unfortunate rotation.
Yeah.
It's just an awkward rotation, you know? Like this, it kind of has snowballed since you've not been here. Everything has kind of felt cruddy. You know, you just haven't had good vision. Okay, we'll keep going. Okay, this is really y'all's fight to lose here. You guys finally have your ult bank pulled up here, where you have a slight ult advantage. So, you know, here, this is where I was kind of talking about, like, where you look at this from two perspectives, okay? So the first one is that this sightline is really good for you. The second one is that I can't force trance from here.
Right.
So what I would probably, well, you tell me, how can you make the most of this situation here?
So I believe I do what I think you're going to say. So I believe I go left with the Genji.
Yeah, I agree. I would start here. I would probably vomit whatever you got on main, Discord Diva, chunk HP, whatever. And then I would start to progress forward and open up my angle and just force backline here.
I think I do exactly that. I think.
Good. Okay. Small thing on your perk choice. I think this perk choice is okay, but I think if you have consistent silence of your team, I think the double harmony orb is just going to have more output. Because if you think about how often are you charging... Go ahead.
I do pick it. Oh, sorry. I don't mean to cut you off. I do pick it on defense. I accidentally picked it. That's what it was. I do remember accidentally picking it.
Yeah, that's fine. It's not bad. It's not negative value. It's still good. It's just not optimal.
I just used to use the other one, and I clicked it.
Yeah, this is just you took space a little too late. We could have taken space a lot sooner. So actually, our Widow gets cleared, or Winston gets cleared, our Genji gets cleared. Like both of those cycles, you could have just enabled sooner.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just about urgency and setup. That's it. You have the right idea. It's just slow.
It's just being there sooner.
Correct. Because if you could, your Winston almost died, your Genji almost died in the first cycle. It's like that could have been done much better. This is fine. They can't push you here because they don't have time. They have to worry about points, so you could do all sorts of silly things. Yeah, that's fine. Right. I mean, Zen's good. You know, it's like as tough as this has felt at times. You just cap at 3 minutes. You know, like this is, it's good. It's really good.
Okay.
I would probably start top here. Just get a better sightline here. And then depending on what you see, if you see like Widow or something, but like there's no real reason to be here. Like I think it's just a little bit more naked. You can, I mean, if you're going to be here, I'd probably like be here. At least a little bit of a better angle with better cover, you know? Actually, I wonder about that. I wonder if this is actually maybe underrated. Because a lot of people play here, right? So you'll end up stacking a lot, right? So I wonder if this is the kind of crossfire that feels good for Zen here. You should experiment with that.
No, yeah, I will. I will experiment. I think the reason I was there is because I wanted to throw a little right-click volley. Then I saw they had Lucio, so they got there much quicker than I thought they would. So then I was like, oh, shoot.
Yeah. But see, you don't need to be scared. Like, you're going back top here, but I'm wondering if just popping, like, right here is fine. Because you're a full jump distance away plus a little more. That's what you want, right? So, and the irony is that by going here, you've compressed your vision, which means that you're going to get less punish on their walk-up, right? Which is what you really want.
That's fair.
So I don't hate this. This is like a really vanilla fine thing to do, but yeah, just you need to abuse that. Never allow them to take space for free. Never.
Right.
Then it's all about the punish on their push, you know, and then even stuff like that. Like you got in that guy's face. Like how are you allowed to do that? Well, he used dash, he used deflect, he had no pocket. Just get in space, you know.
Right.
Zen has no tempo. Zen has no CDs that you have to worry about. He's always lethal, basically, which means that he's always fragile too. But once, for example, you see this was Winston's glory moment. He doesn't do anything with this, and then now you're free to do whatever you want.
Right.
So Zen is like the most consistent character in the game, which means that you just need to pay attention to enemy CDs, and that's it. You never really change how you perform.
Okay.
Respect Winston's cooldowns, respect every character's cooldowns, but once they've used them, you don't have to juggle. Like with Ana, it's like, what cooldowns do they have? What cooldowns do I have? It's like with Zen, it's just one calculation. That's it.
Right.
Same thing with Harmony Orb on Genji here. Because you're never going to be the break point between Winston staying or not staying, you know? This is good. Good punish. Like even here, you should be able to ego diva, no problem. You know, you played cover well. You should be able to get pocket. If you got mini, you're cooking here.
Yeah, I didn't want to get mini because I felt like she was waiting.
Yeah,
so
yeah. This was fine. This is a little bit unfortunate from you. You lost your Cassidy instantly, and I don't think you got enough punish on your initial rotation, so they walked forward for free. But like, yeah, that was fine.
Yeah, that's fair.
Oh gosh. Yeah,
so this is the one with
not the best.
Well, I was thinking because of the touch, but also with the. I was kind of experimenting a little bit. I was kind of seeing because there's the Discord with the trans.
Yeah. But it's always set up with your trances, right? Like if you look at this situation here, if your Winston dies, or like first off, you misjudged the touch, right? You had at least another 5 seconds than you think you did. I mean,
right.
So with the experiment, I have zero problems. It's more to do with the timing and the setup. So this was you misread how close the cart was. If you had been here, pop a Discord, pop a Harmony Orb, and then just go flying out there in front of your team and then just slide off and then or like lean over till here and just die in the flank. Yeah, it's all right. It's all right. You just got to set it up because you're going to get beat on and killed here. Almost certainly. I don't know what they're waiting on. Okay, so they're waiting for. Yeah, we did it in a decent spot. We just didn't get a lot of value out of the trance early because we weren't set up for it. That's all.
And like you said, it was just timed early.
Yeah, exactly. That's all.
Okay. All right,
ID is fine. Like, trance is super flexible. Super flexible in what you can do with it. Selfish, enable a dive, Discord there, push, whatever. Again, good spacing here. So you're going to die here, but this is exactly what I'm talking about, right? Like you're getting dove, but you've just managed your space. If you could just manage your cover better, that's the only thing here. Like if your rotation was here or you had actually been here to start with, that's my one concern.
I would take less damage.
Yeah,
I would have taken less damage.
Yeah, so your positioning problem has not been your spacing with Zen for the most part. It's been your cover usage.
Okay.
You're playing wide sight lines, you're keeping distance, but like not being passive. Like you're opening up some nice angles here. The problem is that you're just a little, like, for example, all of this damage here is kind of unnecessary, right? You could have cut down 50, 60, 70, 80 damage and still gotten the Dean back here.
Right.
Yeah.
That's fair.
It's fine. Probably rotate out right here just to be safe. Yeah, just to be safe. Like, because it's just nade and Sojourn ult. It's just scary. Yeah,
Which I think I do.
Yeah. There you go. There you go. Probably still hold here, no problem.
Yeah.
So you have
at least to know, it seems like when I always would say my rotations, I felt like we're like the problem, but like you said, it seems like even when you're saying like, oh, go right, then I end up going right, or like go here.
Well,
so that's
circuit,
actually like
not terrain in your parade, so it's like one of the easier, simpler maps. But you're right, you are doing the right things most of the time. Yeah, just a little slow.
Well, even on my last one, like I felt like there were not too many to point out, at least from that perspective. So basically,
on Ana, yeah, true, yeah.
Okay,
true.
so basically,
you're finding the good balance here. We're thinking about it. Well, I guess my point being is that like it seems like you have been thinking about it. Correct me if I'm wrong. And I think you're making good decisions, right? So yeah,
cool.
Like you can just stay here. You don't need to rotate away. Yeah, good job. Reload behind cover. Good. I mean, I wouldn't rotate away from here. Like, I know you're like, oh, I might get staged on by the diva. Maybe, maybe. I would be very attentive to that.
So I think this is just the real quick. Sorry to cut you. Like, I think the nature of me doing that is like I see people crit, and I'm like, oh shoot, it takes too long. But it's also like that like support brain of like, oh my god, I gotta keep them up. I gotta keep them up.
Yeah.
Where in this case, like just trust my Ana to do that.
Correct. There's nothing you can do.
Okay.
The most important thing is that like you can keep these guys here. Like this Sojourn's been able to walk forward. You dinged her, right? Like keep dinking her. Don't let her hold this angle because that's what's going to keep your team crit because of this angle, right? Like you should be contesting this. Now you are contesting this, but I don't think you could have stayed. You know what I'm saying? Like that's lucky, but it's also even if you don't get the kill, the damage is still there.
Right.
So I actually look at this, and I actually think good.
Because Diva came here, Genji came here.
Because Diva came here.
Like all those.
Now, it's still cover. So this right here is unnecessary damage. So a whopping 40 of this damage was avoidable. You get what I'm saying?
Right.
But you were, to be very clear, dead. Nothing you could do. You're dead. That's a dash reset on your Genji, and then the Diva's going to commit with full boosters. She might even have the perk. She doesn't have the perk, but she does have full boosters and missiles and everything, right? You're dead. Goodbye. Nothing you can do.
Yeah.
But you got your one, you got your damage, you got your healing, you forced double CDs and ult research. And if I was your Ana here, I would not even bother trying to follow up. I'd just be like, all right, well, that Flicker's dead. Let's trade backlines. And that's what's happening. And that's going to favor you guys. If your Winston can juggle, he's looking a little bit like me, but that D.Va should die. And we're good. It's like the Ana, right? Earn death. Nice job.
Okay.
You died. You won the fight. Good job.
Thank you.
Yeah, like right now, double DPS is fine. I guess that the thing with the Harmony Orb is just like, if for whatever reason you don't have LOS on your DPS, it's just, you can just tank and just ignore it and leave it. It's fine. The number one thing for Zen is just damage uptime, right? So if you find yourself shuffling your Harmony Orbs a lot, it's bad. I don't hate this. You're kind of keeping sightline on that angle. You can also just rotate here and force your trance value. There's all sorts of things you can do here. It's also just hard for me because this is Circuit, right? So like Circuit just has its own meta, you know? You just play the nice juicy sightline here. But like you could also do something really silly here in situations on other maps and just wait for backline to walk up, drop in 5 or bop, 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 and then trance, you know? So that you don't have to do that here because you have such an incredibly powerful sightline. That's fine. That's fine.
Oh, I got stuck with bomb. Yeah, that was the unfortunate thing.
Yeah, so a couple things. I don't mind the trance.
So
Don't mind the trance. Big thing is you just have to commit here. So what I mean by commit is the Discord trance can be bait sometimes. As soon as you see beat, you need to commit to backline or you need to commit to backline. You got me? So you need to end off of main. Now you got caught on bomb, that's the biggest problem here. But even the fact that you were hovering around there for an extra half of a second is a big no-no. You need to fully commit to here and be like, I'm going to die in a blaze of fury. Like let's say they didn't have beat, this would probably be a lot more valuable. Or you just need to go ahead and finish over here, and in that way you're fine.
Right.
Because you're kind of cooked here. Because this is too convenient. You know, this is like they already want to be fighting here, right? Like you're not inconveniencing them at all. Whereas this death over here was really inconvenient for them.
Right. Makes sense.
I had that happen with Juno in a ranked game a week ago, and there were like 4 people chasing me. And I died, obviously, but we easily won the fight because it was such a ridiculous amount of CDs that went on for just me. And because I was positioned well, it was like really inconvenient.
So to follow up on that as a note, so if I've ever played like a character like that, or Ana or Juno, if I'm like getting attention of 2 or 3 people, like you said, you're going to die. There's no way around it.
Usually,
sometimes I do feel if it's like 5 seconds of like no one's on me, and then somehow my team doesn't seem like they're following up on it, and I'm like my hands are raised up, like I know I couldn't heal, but also it's like there's all these people here. Sometimes there's no result out of it.
If
like,
that happens, you got to question where you were angled.
Okay. Good to know.
Because it meant it was too convenient or it was too easy. So if you've ever seen somebody overextended, that's oftentimes the definition of overextension. Where, like, for example, where it's like my team wasn't positioned to fight there, and so they could 5v1 me, and my team literally can't shoot anybody.
That's fair. Okay.
Your death here, your team actually could not even see D.Va Genji. They couldn't follow up here.
Right.
But they could see here, and they could see here and here. And so they couldn't follow up here, but this was an expensive death for you, right? Where like it was really inconvenient for the enemy team to go there because they ended up ignoring everybody else. Your Onyx, your Cass, your Winston, and so on. Heck, the ultimate was used on you, right? So it doesn't necessarily mean like, it just means that my team is fighting while I'm 3v1ing. That's the rule. And if your team is fighting in a 3v1, and you live and you live and you live and you live and you live, and then you die, and then your team loses the fight, GG, go next. Live for an extra half a second longer, you know? It happens. Tangle's fine. I would spend less time cycling back for this Harmony Orb crap. Like right here, for example, just keep shooting.
Just keep shooting here.
Just keep shooting. Like you've got a 5-second grace period now instead of a 3-second grace period, so you actually have way more than you think. Just keep popping.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, they buffed it like
it was 5 seconds.
I believe it's 5 seconds. I'm actually gonna double check that before I spread some misinformation, but I believe it was buffed like 6 months ago or something like that.
Is that the double Harmony Orb, or is that so you're saying both?
It should be both.
Okay.
Yeah. It is indeed 5 seconds. It is indeed 5 seconds. Yes, so that has been buffed in the last like year or so. So that means there is 2 more seconds of free damage. And obviously, if you got a good sightline, let the Harmony Orb drop. Sometimes it's just worth.
Do you know if that's in the new patch notes on the client? Because didn't they say they were putting that stuff out like on the
It
client?
should be.
The heroes?
Well, let's go check right now.
Because that actually is something I never really pay attention to.
I don't know if that would be on it, but we could check. So that would be Zen. You would go F1. You'd press your scroll wheel, and there it is.
Oh yeah, lost duration 5 seconds.
I believe that might apply to Discord as well, but it might not. No, it's a lot shorter. 1.5 seconds. Yeah. Yeah. There you go.
That's nice. Okay,
There's going to be some errors in that. There's a couple of errors. I know the guy that worked on it. And so there's been a couple of things like Wuyong's are not perfectly accurate, but that will be over time continually updated and obviously like more and more accurate. So yeah.
Right. How much more time do we have?
We got like 5 more minutes if you want.
Okay. Can I go back to the Ana code real quick?
Yeah, let's do it.
I want to check something on the OT. And this was a gamble I was trying to make. I think this made me spiral. Like, you always say, don't beat yourself up. You know, everyone's human. There's one play I misfobbed, and I know it was maybe like a risk, like, okay, whatever, I have to go for it. And I just whiff. And I think after that one, I like looked at it. I was like, oh, MG. Like, I was just frustrated. I think it was this right here, actually. Right here.
Right here?
Right, literally here.
So defense.
I think it was. So here.
I want to see why you don't have sleep dart. Let's see. Was it earned? Okay, so first off, you're down like 1. So you can either...
Or 2, right?
Well, they're down 1, 2 is what I'm saying. So...
Oh, I see. Sorry, I didn't see that. Okay.
No, it's fine. So, like, it's fine. That sleep was... Again, it's fine to use sleep at that distance because she's not anywhere near you, so you don't need to save it, but it also just felt like a low percentage sleep dart, if that makes sense.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Whereas a sleep like this would have been a much more high percentage sleep dart, where like she's going to lose a chunk of HP. So not great.
Right.
Then you do a sneaky rotation because she doesn't know where you are and you don't have sleep. You've seen her commit CDs, you commit your nade, you miss the nade, crucially, and you don't even hit the diva. That sucks. And then you're like, all right, well, now I have no CDs. Their Reaper or Sojourn or whatever's back. And so I might as well just die.
This is where I was talking about, right here.
Really? This is the fight? Because I look at this fight.
No, you'll see right here.
Oh, you just chunked. Okay, but see, the thing is here, like, you're not looking at this conceptually well enough. This fight's lost. Your Hazard's dead.
Right.
And so you might as well... You know?
Well, just chunking the nade is the part where I think where that got me to spiral a little bit.
Of course. Yeah.
Right
you should be ashamed of yourself, right? The problem is that you went for the clump. Because I guarantee you, your brain, like your monkey brain was like, ooh, target also there, but you didn't like think verticality, you just kinda like threw it, you know? Yeah.
Right where Sojourn was, yeah.
But I'm gonna be very clear, like again, the idea of this, you're down an angle or down a hero, yeah, like if you hit this nade, I think you win this fight. Straight up.
Yeah, right. And that's where I I was really hard on myself on this one right there.
Yeah. But again, it's just an execution one, right? Like the idea, beautiful. Like you even hit the sleep, you know? It's good.
Yeah.
Yeah, good. I mean, you got because you used the space. That was the problem with the enemy team is they got their pick, but look at their space control. Look at you. Look at your Tracer. Look at your Wuyong. Look at your Reaper. Like you have kind of like a nice little juicy surround here. Yeah, it's fine.
Right.
You
like, that's where I felt like it. Like this is where I feel like a lot of times in these high elo games where I'm hard on myself is like if I miss one key play like that, it can literally just decide if I win this game or not purely. And like and a lot of times I feel like I miss because I either rush or like I think like big picture before I even see it. Like what was the way you said it? I'll use the cooldown without really having information right away first or rushing it. So like even though I saw it, I know it's OT, it's stressful, but maybe like you said, taking that extra second, like we said last time, is the key maybe of me winning this fight right here. And
I'm not to be like raining your parade here in terms of like we all love creating narratives, but like why is this the play that we're dying on? I mean, how many chunks did you make that? I mean, look at that. They capped with 0 time.
Right.
If you had won one more fight, walked away from the diva when you slept her, when you won that fight, remember you won that fight, you probably actually would have lived there because it ends up that your team, you actually got the DMAC and then your support was there in time to help you if you'd been faster. Which means that you would have been set up, which means then, remember when you're Cassie Pop High Noon and you had to sleep in nade, why were you in spawn there? Why were you not forward helping your team? Because you were dead.
Right.
You win that fight probably, or at least make it a lot more expensive, and then you get trades, and then you get a recontest, and then we're not in this stupid situation in the first place.
True.
You know, so I guess my point being is like this is a really obvious one, but there were so many little moments where you just really beefed the, you know, and but also there were moments where you like clutched, you know, like and like if we went through every single person's POV here, I guarantee you we'd find just as many errors. I mean, how can I know that? Because look at the scoreboard. This is a really close game.
Mm-hmm.
You know.
Before you go, one other thing on attack. I try to always take that right side with the mini.
OT attack or both attacks?
I think OT attack. Okay. I think.
Yeah, that's what.
Maybe also. I think I might do it also in regular attack, but it just feels really uncomfortable on that side. I don't know if it's here or I do it on. Or do I try? Maybe I try left here if it's not OT.
It's really high risk. Yeah, for sure. It's a little naked. You can get naded and so on. What I would do is I would treat the rule like I do with any angle. Like, is it open? Do I have CDs? Kind of a thing. You know what I'm saying? So like,
right.
Let's see if you made the right read. No, it must have been a neutral attack.
Yeah.
Let's see.
And that's probably what it was. Oh yeah, then like this tracer's all over me too. Yeah, on OT. But okay, I think it was on neutral attack.
Okay.
So,
yeah, this is fine. This is fine. Like there's spacing here, right? So this seems pretty reasonable.
Like finding a nade or like this just feels very awkward. If you know what I mean, like maybe like on the high ground. That's what I'm trying to do.
Well, you can't cool on high ground.
So it has to be something in front of me.
It does. I mean, when I say that, I'm being a little facetious, but yeah, it's really difficult to get cooldowns on high ground. Like you can occasionally get like a splash here, so look for it. But if you don't see it, don't worry about it because if getting cooldown value here is really good, right? Okay. So like this is your mistake, right? That's hilarious coincidence, right? Like you actually naded your hazard wall and hit the freaking on. Like that's crazy. But you can also just sleep the diva, and then shoot her, nader, right? And she's gonna have to leave.
Right.
And then that means, well, okay, well, then maybe eventually I can get a rotation next cooldown cycle so that I can actually nade the high ground, right? So I like what you're doing here, but outside of the where you're going with the nade. This is fine.
So with the hazard being on the high ground with the 3 people there, and then we have like the diva in front of us with us over here. So essentially, our job is to take care of this diva as fast as possible versus the hazard.
Yeah, it's just what's on your screen. It's just what you can contribute to. Remember, the rule of Overwatch is just what can I see, what can I do, and when you rotate on this angle, you can't really contest high ground.
Okay. So just
all you could do is you could deal with this, or you can deal with this over here, right? Or what's under here, or if there's somebody here, that would be your responsibility, right? It's not.
So don't try to greed.
Yeah, just take the angle here. When you take this angle, you're forfeiting high ground control at the aspect of doing everything else better. Whereas when you go here, you should be focusing on high ground and this here, but you can't do anything about here or here or here or here. You know, you're basically all-inning on high ground. Okay. They're both fine. They're both totally fine. And I think you chose this one to rotate away from Diva Tracer, which was like really reasonable, and it worked.
Right.
It's fine. You don't really have a lot of other options here, right? It's just defender's advantage, right? So you just kind of have to make the best with what you can do. So they should always have the advantage. But yeah, I think this is very, very reasonable rotation from you. Just don't force the nade value here, because if you get that, I'm looking at this here. Like I know I shut down stream, but like the Diva actually gets out. The Diva lives.
Right.
You know, so a nade there and she doesn't, you know, so, okay. Right. Yeah, keep up the good work. Keep specifically with the space control and taking responsibility. It's good. Some of the micro with Zen was just like Harmony Orb uptime, yeah, but like just damage uptime and most importantly, really setting up your trances.
Okay. So
very hard to do that.
Process. Trust
the process, and very hard to be fair, very hard to set up trances in circuit with how linear it is. But yeah, trust the process. Be patient with yourself. Don't try to solve the problem. Don't try to solve your problem. Just practice what you know you need to practice, and don't feel stupid if you're struggling.
All right.
You know, Root 66, you carried a lot of fights, and you were also the dead weight in a lot of fights. And it's not necessarily a high risk, high reward play style that we're pushing for. It's just that you're taking responsibility. And as a support player, that can feel weird. But that's how every player should feel. That's how tanks feel. That's how DPS players feel. So that's how support should feel too, you know. So